We talked on the phone all the time. She always said, I loved you. It was never, goodbye, we'll see you later or talk to you later. She always called and checked up on me, and I'm supposed to be doing checking up on her. So she had a really a good heart. She really cared about her friends. She cared about her family a lot, even though she, did wasn't always like there with us. But she reached out. I don't know. She was special.
For a lot of people, social media is a big part of their daily life across many different platforms. It's not only a way to stay well connected with what's going on in the world, but it's a way to stay connected with loved ones, friends, co-workers, classmates, teachers, and just so much more. Though social media can be a positive and quick way to interact with others and learn new things, it unfortunately can also be a negative because some people use it for their ill desires. Now, the question is, did one man, 41-year-old Douglas Shaw, have a dark obsession with a young girl in her 20s that he might possibly have met online? Or did he meet her in person and decide a fatal plan? Though it is not fully clear in the case, what is clear is 28-year-old Renia Lewis was an entrepreneur and brand ambassador who was working on building a social media following before her life was cut short. Originally from Stockton, California, she was said to spend a lot of time in Vallejo, which is located only about an hour and 20-minute drive west of where she grew up. Coming up, she was her mother's youngest child and has an older brother and sister, and the family appears really tight knit. Rainia's life was filled with cooking, which was her favorite pastime, plus traveling and hanging out with friends. To those who knew her well, they called her Riri, and as a part of her social media following, she would go by Royalty. Over the past few years, she had been working on being a brand ambassador for Her One Stop LLC, where you could get hair extensions, eyelashes, adult toys, and more. She would model and do different photo shoots to build her portfolio. After hearing about what took place, Her One Stop LLC would write, from the entire Her One Stop family, our hearts are truly saddened by the passing of our beautiful brand ambassador, Reineia Royalty Lewis. To our family and loved ones, please know you are in our prayers and we send you all of our love and deep condolences. Reineia was so much more than an ambassador. She was a spark of light and beauty that was truly cherished. We are forever grateful for the love, joy, and presence she brought into our lives. May her soul find peace and may her memory continue to shine bright in all of our hearts. With love, you're her one stop family. Hashtag forever 28. Before Rainia's untimely demise, she would go missing on September 26th, just weeks away from her 29th birthday. Her mother, Terry Lewis, would state that she texted her daughter that day, but never got a response back. She initially assumed that her daughter might have put the phone on Do Not Disturb, because she would often do that when she was sleeping. However, after a certain amount of time had passed, she knew she should have heard back from her, and so she would take a look at Life 360 to see her location. And she saw that her daughter's location was on 14th Street in Vallejo, California, but she never heard of her being there before. So, over the course of the past weekend, the family would start launching their own search just to see if something else nefarious was going on. They would go to the house where the phone pinged at and also find two IDs of people who lived there. However, those two people didn't appear to be at the location and were said to be out of town. But what family didn't know at the time is that 41-year-old Douglas Shaw was living in a detached part of the home out back. Outside of the home appeared to be run down, and the family would continue to look around to see what they could find out at the location where their loved one's phone pinged at. As the family continued to search the area, they would find her phone nearby and it had been thrown on top of a roof of a building. Renia's family would ultimately contact the authorities and give the information of where her phone last pinged. Law officials would show up to the house located off of 14th Street and they would do a welfare check inside. However, once they swept the house, they found nothing. Also, at the same time, missing person flyers were being put out online and on the streets. Renia's mother was so concerned that she put her actual phone number on there, and sadly, some people would troll and give her false locations to go to, plus try to scam her out of money during one of the most difficult times in her life, not knowing where her child was. After further investigation, authorities were led back to their home within a day, and when officers returned, they had a search warrant this time to do a deeper dive. What they uncovered was a hidden attic, and inside of the attic, sadly, was the body of Reineia. She was said to have been stuffed behind a wall, left there as if her life had no meaning.
Devastating scene here in Vallejo. The family of Renia Lewis just on the yellow tape, trying to get as close as they can, getting the latest information they can. A lot of her family says they got here in the morning to look for Renia, to try and find her. She's been missing, and sure enough, police were looking in the same place. They came to a home here on 14th Street, and that is where they found her body.
Was the alleged unaliver not smart enough to realize that her body would have started decomposing and the smell would have went all up and down that block? And eventually they would have found out that there was someone not alive in the home. Whatever took place for him to allegedly take her life is sick and disturbing. Now, I don't know her personally, but the way that house looked from the outside, I can only imagine what it looks like on the inside. And it doesn't appear that she was the type of girl that would have been messing with anyone that lived in those type of conditions. This terrible situation reminds me so much of Sade Robinson and Maxwell Anderson's case. However, the difference is, I don't think Reineia would have been into this guy. But we'll just have to wait until the investigation develops more to find out how the two met and what caused him to take her life.
What did she do to you for you to kill her and then put her in a wall? When he said, "We found your daughter," I just collapsed. I was like, I can't believe this. And I was praying. I said, God, please don't let it be her. Please don't let it be her. And he did not answer my prayer.
It was the news no one in 28-year-old Renia Lewis's family wanted to hear. Police found her body behind a wall inside this home on 14th Street in Vallejo. Her mother last texted her on Friday and thought it was unusual not to get a response.
When they found her body behind the wall. They nailed her body behind the wall.
Vallejo police announced late Tuesday that they had arrested Douglas Shaw. It's still unclear what his relationship is to Renia or to the home.
But I believe that this man preyed on her, stalked her, and watched her, and had a desire to have her for himself. And when he couldn't, he decided to do the unthinkable. It is very sad, and it is very tragic, and it shouldn't have taken place. Thank God that her mom had the Life 360 app, so she was able to jump on it quickly, and at least she does have her remains back. With that being said, it doesn't take away the pain and hurt that that mother is going through right now. Rainia's life was cut so drastically short, and she was someone that was full of life. She was a daughter, a friend, a sister, a niece, and so much more. She had so much more to give to this world, but sadly, evil saw fit to take her away. I'm sure in the coming days and weeks, more information will come out in this case, because as of right now, they have not released how she lost her life and the state her body was in. It's just really disturbing to think about everything she probably went through before she took her last breath. My thoughts and prayers go out to her family in a very difficult time, and I pray they get the full justice they do deserve. Also, don't forget to comment your thoughts and prayers for this family as well, and hit that like button and share to make your people aware. And as always, remember to stay woke because things change quickly.